Feeling overwhelmed? Have you ever had days where everything just feels too much? Maybe you're going through something hard, and no matter how much you try, you feel like you're sinking. Life sometimes feels like a big wave crashing down on us, and it's easy to feel afraid or alone. But what if I told you that there are promises in the Bible, words from God Himself, that can help you find strength and courage in your toughest moments? Today, we're going to explore some of those verses, powerful words that show how God is always ready to give us strength when we need it most. So, if you're feeling weak or worried, let's dive into these scriptures that can transform your life. One of the greatest verses that speaks to this is from Philippians 4 verse 13, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Now, what does that mean? Think about something really challenging in your life. Maybe it's a hard task at school or something you're trying to do in your family. Maybe you feel like it's impossible to get through. The beauty of this verse is that it reminds us we don't have to rely on our own strength. We have access to a power greater than us. Christ gives us the strength to face anything. Imagine you're climbing a big hill. At first, it seems easy, but as you go higher, it gets steeper and your legs start to hurt. You feel like you can't go any further. But then, someone comes along and helps carry your heavy backpack. Suddenly, the climb becomes easier because you aren't doing it alone. That's what Jesus does for us. When we face life's challenges, He doesn't leave us to carry everything by ourselves. His strength becomes our strength. So, when the road gets tough, or you're feeling like you're not enough, remember that Christ is there, offering His strength to you. All you have to do is reach out in faith, and He will help you get through anything, no matter how impossible it seems. Next, let's look at Joshua 1 verse 9, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." This is one of the most encouraging verses in the Bible because it speaks directly to the fear we all feel at times. God knows that life can be scary. He knows that we face situations that make us want to run and hide. But He doesn't tell us to be brave on our own. He tells us to be strong and courageous because He is with us. Think about it like this: imagine you're about to step into a dark forest. It's a place you've never been before, and it feels unknown and dangerous. You might feel scared, right? But now imagine that you're holding the hand of someone you trust completely, someone who knows the forest and promises to protect you. That fear starts to go away because you're not alone. That's what God does for us. He walks with us through every dark or difficult situation, and because He is with us, we can be brave. Not because we are strong, but because God is. God's presence isn't just something you feel in church or when you're praying. He's with you all the time, when you're at home, at school, or facing something hard. That's the promise of this verse: you never have to be afraid because you are never alone. Wherever you go, God goes with you. Another verse that really touches on this theme of strength and trust is Psalm 28 verse 7, "The Lord is my strength and my shield, my heart trusts in Him, and He helps me." What does it mean for God to be our strength and shield? Well, think about what a shield does. In ancient times, soldiers would carry shields to protect themselves from arrows or attacks. The shield was their defense. When this verse says God is our shield, it means He protects us. But more than just being a shield, God is also our strength. He gives us the power to face whatever comes our way. Imagine you're in a storm, and the wind is blowing hard. It's pushing against you, and you feel like you're about to fall. But then, suddenly, someone strong stands beside you, blocking the wind and helping you stay on your feet. That's what God does for us. He shields us from the worst of life's storms and gives us the strength to keep standing. When you trust God with your whole heart, He helps you. He may not take away the storm, but He will give you the strength to get through it. That's His promise. So even when things look difficult or you feel like giving up, trust that God is your protector and your strength. Another important verse is Psalm 56 verse 3, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." Fear is a natural feeling. We all get scared sometimes. Whether it's fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or fear of something bad happening, it's something we all experience. But what do we do with that fear? The Bible tells us to bring it to God. Think about a little child who's afraid of the dark. What do? They run to their parent, someone they trust, someone they know will keep them safe. That's what God invites us to do with our fears. He says, when you're afraid, come to me. Trust me. And when we do, something amazing happens, our fear starts to shrink. Why? Because we realize that God is bigger than whatever we're afraid of. So when you feel fear creeping in, don't let it take over. Instead, turn to God. Pray and ask Him to help you trust Him, and watch as your heart becomes more peaceful and strong. Lastly, let's reflect on Psalm 46 verse 1, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. The word, refuge, here means a place of safety, like a strong building that protects you during a storm. When the winds are howling and the rain is pouring down, you would want to find shelter, a place where you can feel safe. That's what God is for us. He is our refuge, our safe place. No matter what kind of trouble you're facing, whether it's a difficult situation, a hard decision, or something that scares you, God is always there, ready to help. What's even more powerful about this verse is the word, ever-present. God isn't just with us sometimes, He's with us all the time, always ready to help. He's not far away or hard to reach. He's right there, waiting for us to turn to Him in our times of need. Conclusion. Each of these verses offers us a glimpse into God's heart for us. He knows we will face challenges, fears, and moments of weakness, but He doesn't leave us to handle them alone. He promises to be our strength, our courage, and our refuge. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed today, take these promises to heart. Lean on God's strength when yours feels weak. Trust in His presence when you're afraid. And remember that no matter what you're going through, God is with you, helping you every step of the way. You don't have to face anything alone. With God's help, you have the strength to face anything that comes your way.